have remained on that line saying, not enough. What are we going to do about it, folks? We need more. We need more. And it's just completely out of touch, Kev.
It really is. And luckily, MLB seems to be doing something about it. Now, I wonder if Stu has been meaning or wanting to sell the team for a long time, and this is kind of the opportunity to save face and do it accordingly, although he can't really save face at this point. But
you are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Rays, your daily podcast covering everything Tampa Bay Rays, from game analysis to player interviews. We've got you covered with all the latest news and insights. My name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano,
bringing you expert analysis and passionate discussions about our beloved Rays.
Whether you're a diehard fan who vividly remembers Longo's Game 162 just like us,
or you remember the early Devil Ray days of Wade Boggs and Carl Crawford,
we are here to break down every play, every trade, and every milestone. In fact, this will be our 7th season covering the Rays daily.
And it's spring training time, so go ahead, grab your favorite Rays gear, settle in, and subscribe to our Locked On Rays YouTube channel and other podcast platforms. You can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays.
We'd like to thank you for making Locked On Rays your first listen every day. Again, Locked On Rays is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, Ulises. Well, we didn't have a chance to talk about this in depth with Evan Klosky because the news broke shortly after we had recorded a pair of episodes with Evan Klosky. But where there's smoke, there's fire, evidently, as there are some interested parties in buying the team from Stu Sternberg. Don't everyone rejoice at once. I'm sure there's a lot of mechanics that have to be worked out, including what seems like could be a bidding war. But it does appear, just based on the surface and these reports coming out and the March 31st deadline looming, and Manfred and basically all of the MLB owners ticked off at Stu Sternberg for, hey, you're going to let $600-700 million in public funding go to waste? What are you, an idiot? So it's not looking good. Well, that's not the right way to put it. The Rays future is a little bit in flux as to who's going to own the team and where they're going to play for future years. Let me put it like that.
I know that you're not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but you would get some references, right?
Yes. Funnily enough, probably within the last couple of months, I watched every single Harry Potter movie. I refuse to read all the books because that's too much reading, but right. I'll pop in the movies. I'll watch a good, what's it? Jason Isaacs as Lucius Malfoy, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
A little bit here and there.
Okay. So then you're gonna love this. Okay. Stu is kind of, when you said something like, "Oh, you're gonna say no to $600 million." What are you, stupid? It kind of brought this image of Harry's cousin Dudley in the first book, where it's his birthday, and he counts the presents, and he's like, 35. Last year was 39. Mm-hmm. What is up with this? That's kind of like what he's sounding right now. 600 million? What? I need more. I need more than 600 million. Yeah. It sounds so out of touch.
He is very
out of touch. And especially, there was a hurricane, my man, and you're a billionaire. Actually, there wasn't just a hurricane. There were two. And one was so potent, it ripped a bleeping roof over his MLB stadium. That's how potent that was. And you're just crying poor. He has not gained any fans whatsoever with this attitude the last 3-4 months. Like, actually more than that. Now it's been 5 months since attitude. And the shift of attitude has not happened. Brian Auld and Matt Silverman and Stu have remained on that line saying, not enough. What are we going to do about it, folks? We need more. We need more. And it's just completely out of touch, Kev.
It really is. And luckily, MLB seems to be doing something about it. Now, I wonder if Stu has been meaning or wanting to sell the team for a long time, and this is kind of the opportunity to save face and do it accordingly, although he can't really save face at this point. But it's good that there is local interest and groups that are putting names out there. It's still, I think, very preliminary in the stages, but we can actually, kind of puzzle some of the pieces together. You have one group headed by Joe Malloy. You have another group represented by Tampa attorney Carter McCain. So there's actually names instead of just vagueness floating out in the ether. So this actually puts some weight into Stu probably going to have to sell the team if March 31st rolls around and nothing is done, which is funny because the Rays have kept saying that Pinellas County delaying the bonds has increased construction cost by a significant number. I would think if you really wanted to have the stadium deal, you would make sure all your paperwork and documentation was in as soon as possible, basically once those bonds were approved. Otherwise, I mean, aren't the construction costs going to continue to go up if you don't, if you wait to sign something on March 31st versus March 1st? That's my thought anyway.
And when they had the first opportunity to say to the county and the city, hey, we've done our due diligence, we're doing what we need to be doing, they said, yeah, we've spent $50 million towards this. And then the county and city go, all right, let's see the books. What do you got? And then what they give is, oh, you mean 11 million? Like, that was the first suggestion of like, this is not going anywhere. This is not 50 million is now 11. Okay, cool. I'll be sure to tell that to my boss tomorrow. You wanted 50 things being done. Well, I got 11 done. So that's basically the same thing. It's crazy, but I do it from a non-hockey fan. I've heard the name Jeff Vinik a lot.
Yes.
Jeff Vinik, so good. Jeff Vinik, oh my goodness. Jeff Vinik, build this man a statue in Tampa. I've heard it for so many years. Not gonna lie, as a non-hockey fan, but a baseball fan in the same area, it's kind of like annoying. Like, okay, quit it with the Vinik thing. I don't get it. I'm not into hockey. It's nice to see these names attached, the Carter McCains, the Joe Malloy, because now I can really just stop hearing the Jeff Vinik association, because it's not happening. I always thought it wasn't going to happen, but like now I'm like, okay, can we now knock it off a little bit? That's just a pet peeve of mine personally.
There are very few people out there that can own a majority stake in multiple sports franchises. And last I checked, I think Jeff Vinik had to, well, maybe not had to, but did sell off a portion or his stake in ownership with the Lightning, but still retaining some control. And he was going through a divorce. So, half your money essentially gets taken. I think, I don't know all the details, but I would think if you go through a divorce as a very rich individual, it makes it harder to own a professional sports franchise. I'll just leave it like that.
Yeah.
But what you should own and what you should continue to purchase is wonderful pistachios.
Yes.
It's on the camera right there. Good. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious, be sure to crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios, it is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help keep you feeling fuller longer. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead, get snackin' and get crackin' with the snack that packs a protein punch. Be sure to visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. I would have thought maybe the CEO of Wonderful Pistachios would put a bid in on the Rays. That would be nice. Pistachios for everybody. Sold at the concession stands. No more peanuts. It's pistachios now. We're starting a new thing at baseball games.
Don't worry about it.
Pistachios and Cracker Jacks.
I'll text him after the show. Don't worry.
We do have a personal relationship with the CEO of
Pistachios. You know some people. Let's get a little bit into these groups and what they want with the stadium deal, because from the two names that we've named, the Malloys, they would be down for the commitment to the St. Petersburg stadium deal. They said that they support it and that they would, they expressed excitement about the opportunity. Okay, cool. That's one. The other one, the Carter McCain group, they actually never really were specific about the stadium and where it would be. I mean, they said they envision a large-scale entertainment complex surrounding the stadium, similar to Las Vegas Sphere, including hotels, office spaces, outdoor music venue for year-round entertainment. But they never really specified the location, which makes me think, Kevin, out of these groups, which, by the way, there's more than these two groups, apparently.
We could be a group for all we know.
Hey, we're not going there yet, people.
Yeah.
All right.
I think these have the most teeth until I hear a name from the third, fourth, fifth group. However many other groups there are, I need a figurehead with that group.
Right.
Otherwise,
because this makes it solid. This makes it believable, right? Well, if you're one of these groups and you're not really saying that you're down for the St. Pete deal, I mean, that kind of just points the finger to Hillsborough County, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're being wishy-washy on that because you have St. Petersburg and Pinellas County handing you $600-700 million on a silver platter, everything's already done. All the groundwork is laid. All you need to do is sign the agreement, come up with your portion of the money, and then we can have our groundbreaking ceremony and have something built in 3 to 4 years. But this other group, this situation, seems like I think some of their ideas are kind of similar to the historic gas plant district, but I think they want to go bigger, better, more bold, and maybe they feel they have some strings that could be pulled in the city of Tampa or somewhere in Hillsborough County. So
you know someone who knows someone, you have some pull, people with a lot of money, and they know people, and they know the back channeling, how to do that effectively. So when you're wishy-washy about that, maybe you've talked to some important people that could potentially, give that opportunity another, fresh air for the Tampa Stadium.
Well, the fact is, right now, nobody likes Stu, so nobody's going to want to work with Stu.
He's out.
Petersburg, Pinellas County, they probably wish the deadline was up by now because they're tired of that. And after seeing how the Rays have handled the Pinellas County side of things, like, why would you want to get him? If you're the city of Tampa or Hillsborough or any other city for that matter, why would you want to get in bed with this guy?
Right. You wouldn't.
And that's why a bait and switch on you, hurricane or no hurricane, seemingly.
Exactly. So it does seem like the sale is going to happen. Yeah. It has to, because like you said in the beginning, very astutely, you're being given $600 million. $600 million
plus
with land.
Lots of land, which that you probably can't even put a dollar price on.
You can't. You cannot.
$1 for that land.
But imagine how short in money you have to be for you to turn down $600 million plus all that land, plus all that revenue and profit that's going to give you. Like, imagine how short in money you have to sell, man. You're like, I think we said this 3 months ago or something like that. It said, I wish I had a yacht, and I know that you did too.
Yeah.
But we can't afford it. And it would be nice. Can't afford it. Stu, it would be great to own a ball club, but dude, apparently you can't. You don't have the money for a ball club. And that's okay. You can still be a billionaire and not own a ball club. You're fine. You're succeeding. You won at the game. Now sell for a huge profit and live the sunset and get a suite at City Field and watch your Mets, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And get drinks from Stevie Cohen. You can be
You know,
best buds with him, bro.
you can buy your 2% stake in the Mets, and then you can say you own a baseball team. You have
There you
partial ownership of a
go.
baseball team, so you still have that prestige attached to your name. Yeah, what really stood out to me, among other things, was the fact that, not saying that Carter McCain doesn't have some true baseball connections within his group of investors and people, because it sounds like, there are, some well-respected folks there, but Joe Malloy is actually a baseball guy. He was a former Yankees executive and managing partner. And plus he was married to George Steinbrenner's daughter, Jessica, at one point. Could you imagine having George Steinbrenner as your father-in-law? If you can handle that, you can probably handle anything.
Right. How do you ask for her hand in marriage to George? Hi, Mr. Steinbrenner. It would be ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
No.
And plus he's also got other folks tied to the DeBartolo family. So, I don't know who's going to win out here. I mean, the good thing for Stu is that he's got multiple bidders. So that means he can pretty much raise the asking price. Although I would be curious, like, would he, this is how crazy we've gotten to this point, would he take a lesser deal from a group that has intentions on moving the team to Tampa or somewhere else just to spite Pinellas County and St. Petersburg? Like, just for example's sake, let's say Malloy's group offers $2 billion and McCain's group offers 1.85, whatever,
Yeah.
Does he take that offer saying, hey, I'm giving you this offer so you don't put the team in St. Peter Pinellas? I don't know.
The level of pettiness that would take would be huge.
Well, that's where we're getting. I mean, how much pettiness was there to, delay a bond vote by 50 days?
Too much. Yeah. Too much. There was a lot of pettiness. And you know who doesn't have pettiness? SupplyHouse. They don't. Sure. They don't. They're going to help you, okay? Because whatever you need, you can get from SupplyHouse, either plumbing, HVAC, electrical work. SupplyHouse is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400-plus top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. In fact, today, join the Trade Master program at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Who knows? Maybe you want to build your own stadium. You can do that with SupplyHouse. Plus, use promo code S-H-5 for 5% off your first order. Again, that's supplyhouse.com.
If whoever the new ownership group is, if and when this happens, I'm asking for a couple things. One, a new stadium in Tampa Bay. At this point, I don't care if it's St. Petersburg, Tampa, put it in Lakeland or Plant City for all I care.
Right.
Or Zephyr Hills. But if possible, keep the front office folks in place. I'm even okay. Hey, keep Brian Auld if you want. Keep Matt Silverman, because they're just reiterating and regurgitating what their boss, Stu Sternberg, is telling them to say to people. So they're going to work for whoever calls the shots. They're going to be the mouthpiece in that. So keep the front office folks, get a new stadium, and then when push comes to shove, spend a little bit more money on the on-field product. Keep some play. Maybe this time around, we'll keep an Evan Longoria. We'll keep a Carl Crawford. We'll keep a David Price. And we don't have to keep all of them, just a couple. I would like to see some long-term Rays. And really all I think it takes, if you invest another 15 to 20 to 25 million on average in payroll with the front office that you have and the player development that you have and the coaching that you have, you can win a World Series personally.
You can. And I think a lot of the, yeah, I'm with you on the stadium, wherever in Tampa Bay. I don't care, man. Just get it done. Keep the team here for at least the next 30 years. That's number one. Number
And you
two,
know what? I'm almost willing to say I would feel better about it being in St. Petersburg and Pinellas County at this point because they've laid all the groundwork and they put
right.
themselves out there for this.
And they've worked for this. They've worked for this. They put the money out there, $600 million. It's out there. Like it's just you signed the deal basically. So yeah, I agree. I think just to get it done and stop talking about stadium stuff, I would agree with that. Number two, the front office people, I think there is a 0.01 chance that they get fired. Basically, there's no way they're going anywhere because the Rays have built such a strong character vibe of who they are. Hey, they're so successful on the field, but they don't have money.
Yeah.
Well, you're not coming in and then changing what had the success on the field.
Right.
That the front office, like you don't do that. So I am completely confident that any group would keep the front office and how they're doing it and not meddle, which, by the way, is probably the best thing that Stu Sternberg has done in his tenure is not meddle in the front office, plus hire the right people.
Yes.
Those are the best things that Sternberg has done.
Which you honestly can't say for that many owners because a lot of owners think that they're general managers and think that they're coaches when they're not. And it leads to, for lack of a better term, sometimes a crap product on the field. The only thing that we're missing is investing a little bit more money into the team and kind of in a way, treating the team not just like a business and a profit machine, but also like you're a fan of the team.
What's a fan? It's fanatic. It's emotional driven. It's not logically driven. So yeah, it's great to have some logic in the front office, 100%. But I don't think that if you ask Cincinnati Reds fans, hey, did you really appreciate having to see Joey Votto all those years, and wouldn't you have wished to have traded him? I can guarantee you that the vast majority of Reds fans would say, no, I really loved having him as a Reds first baseman for more than a decade, for 15 years plus. That means something to people. Yes. I don't care if Evan Longoria would have hit 230 with 15 bombs in his last year with the Rays at 36, 37, 38 years old. It would have been Longo, and I would have still stood up every time Tantric played and I did my air violin. I would have done it just like I did for almost 10 years.
They probably would have sold some tickets on his Swan Song season too.
Hey, I mean, those are things that it's substantial. You want to see, hey, this is his last ride. You go. You got to be a little bit of both. Mm-hmm. You have to be smart, but you also have to be a little bit into the emotional side of this, because that's what ultimately you get people with emotion, especially with a baseball team, with any sports team. You got to get through the emotion, and you go through the emotion by creating a bond with these players. Dude, like the other day, I met someone and she said, oh man, they traded Siri away. I love Siri. Now, Siri was there for 2.5 years. But look how quickly a fan can grab hold on to a player.
Right.
So quickly, 2.5 years, boom, he's gone. And you're like, oh, that means something too. So when that keeps happening, the trade away, it does affect how the fan, looks at the team. So like you're right. Don't keep everybody. Still be smart.
Right.
But hey, maybe if you have money to spend now, maybe you make Shane McClanahan a really nice offer, right?
He's already had his Tommy John surgery, so hopefully he's in the clear now for the next, 6 to 10 years.
You make Caminero a nice offer. You make, like Carson Williams when he comes up and he's great, an offer. Like things like that, they matter to fans.
Yeah. Put Put it in the comments who you think is going to own the team, and when will Stu sell the team by? Or will the franchise be taken away from him? Because I guess that is theoretically possible.
Yeah.
If 23 of 30 owners say so, or they can really hurt him in multiple ways, like sapping some of the revenue sharing and all that to the point of where like kind of almost have to sell. You'd be a lame duck owner at that point.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
All right. Thank you all. I'm sure there's more to come on this for sure. Credit to The Athletic, credit to the Tampa Bay Times and the other outlets that were on this story and allowed us to do a show on it. In the meantime, hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and we will talk to you later.